My name's Harriet. I hack your AI so the bad guys can't. Did you know that artificial intelligence systems can be hacked? This video is going to explain why and how. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Harriet and I'm here to help you understand how you can secure your artificial intelligence systems. So this is primarily an AI security channel, and indeed this playlist is called Intro to AI Security. But what is AI security actually? So obviously I talk about a lot of topics that are really at the intersection of artificial intelligence and security, specifically cybersecurity. So when it comes to that intersection, there are two primary ways that you can look at the problem. There is artificial intelligence being used for cybersecurity, and that can be used offensively by the bad guys to try and attack our systems, commit cybercrime, fraud, all those bad things, and defensively, so to try and use artificial intelligence to prevent those kinds of attacks from happening. However, there is the other, more overlooked side of the AI and security intersection, and that is the security of AI systems themselves. Artificial intelligence is a system that can be deceived, disrupted, or you can force it to disclose sensitive information. AI security is the field of technical and governance practices that aim to secure artificial intelligence systems from attack. Here's an example I like to use. So in academia, there's been a lot of testing in, for example, creating adversarial stickers or paint that you can put on stop signs to prevent autonomous vehicles from recognizing them and interpreting them as a speed sign instead. These autonomous vehicles, when they saw an adversarial stop sign, they didn't recognize that it was a stop sign at all. Instead, they either couldn't classify it or they somehow misclassified it as a speed sign, for example. Now, what do I mean by an adversarial stop sign? So an adversary is, a bad guy. It's some kind of attacker or threat actor who's looking to disrupt or hack your system. So an adversarial example or an adversarial pattern is some kind of addition to a normal image that prevents the model from recognizing or understanding what it is. Other examples for autonomous vehicles include things like putting salt on the road or putting strange objects by the side of the road that mean that the vehicles don't recognize lane markers. They don't recognize whether it's a pedestrian or a bush on the side of the road. These are examples of adversarial attacks. You're basically putting some kind of false image into the frame in a specific way that the vehicle can't recognize. Now, this is a problem. As of 2022, there are over 100 companies that are testing autonomous vehicles in public roads in the United States. Many other countries are experimenting with autonomous vehicles too. Now, I don't mean to target autonomous vehicles as an industry specifically. The problem actually is that any model, whether it's for computer vision, so being able to recognize images and videos, or whether it's in audio and natural language processing, or whether it's a chatbot, or whether it's doing some kind of signal processing and applying machine learning to signal processing. These are all machine learning models that are out in the public sphere that can be attacked if they're not robust enough and if they don't have the proper safeguards in place. Now, I ask you, how many times have you heard of this concept of AI security before, as in securing artificial intelligence systems? Not many of you. Many organizations just haven't considered this complexity because it's such a new threat and it's an emerging field. But the problem is that adversaries, threat actors, criminals, fraudsters, criminal gangs, they're aware that machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence systems can be hacked using these adversarial techniques. There are so many kinds of models out there that are vulnerable to these kinds of attacks. In general, the kinds of attacks that can be performed against artificial intelligence systems can be lumped into three primary categories. Those are disrupt, so you're just trying to cause a model to not work or not work as intended. The second category is to deceive a model. So you're trying to deceive the model in a targeted way. So maybe you're forcing the model to make an incorrect prediction based on a particular target prediction that you want it to make. Or in the autonomous vehicle example, you're deceiving the model by causing it to see a speed sign instead of a stop sign. The third category of attacks is disclosure, where you're forcing it to disclose sensitive information, maybe about the training data that it was trained on, or about the model information, so its parameters like its weights and biases. With this information, you can leak potentially confidential or sensitive information that it might have been trained on, or you could exfiltrate information about the model to create your own version of that model. We know the IP value of these big models. That's a lot of money. Maybe you're creating a replica of that model to train and launch further attacks. So the premise of AI security is that we're considering an artificial intelligence system to be an attack surface in its own right. There is an analogy between cybersecurity and AI security here, and in fact they're both really important to consider, but they're not the same thing. So cybersecurity considers things like computers and networks, and AI security considers just the artificial intelligence components of that system. So you can think about cybersecurity as one layer to securing artificial intelligence systems, and in some cases it might be enough. However, these days when artificial intelligence systems can be directly accessed by third parties, the public, other systems, there are touch points between the artificial intelligence system and something else that wouldn't be protected by cybersecurity mitigations and practices. And this is the problem. AI security introduces new vulnerabilities and new potential exploits into a system that just aren't covered by existing cybersecurity mitigations. Just as we consider computers and networks to be attack surfaces, as in systems with many potential vulnerabilities, these are systems that could have bugs in them, which may be vulnerabilities that could be turned into exploits. So do AI systems have all of those things that mean that there are different kinds of attacks that can be launched against an AI system. The way I see it, there's a massive parallel between the rise of artificial intelligence systems and the rise of the internet in the latter half of the last century. People were connecting to the internet because it was so useful. It was convenient, you could move information around. However, it was never built to be inherently secure. And so when people were connecting to it, they were introducing all sorts of vulnerabilities into their networks and systems. And these had to be retroactively secured. And now cybersecurity is one of the greatest technical and geostrategic threats. We're at a point now where if we design our artificial intelligence systems to be inherently secure, we can prevent AI security from superseding cybersecurity as the world's greatest technical and geostrategic threat. But we need to act now. A recent report found that over 94% of company leaders surveyed say that their business uses some kind of artificial intelligence, but only 14% of them are aware of or implement AI security. Does your business implement AI security? Does the company you work for implement AI security? If you're a student, have you ever learned about AI security? This is what I think needs to change. So this is our Harriet hack of the episode. Artificial intelligence systems can be hacked. However, there are ways that we can secure them. We want to be optimistic about the future of artificial intelligence, and we just want to make sure that we're adopting it and using it and designing it in a way that is inherently secure. And that's what the rest of the series is going to explain how we can do. And in order to do that, it's really important to understand some of the other key terms and basics around artificial intelligence and security. And this series will be diving into all of those too. Now, if you believe that AI security is important and you want to keep learning more about it, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel. It's a way that you can show your support for free and help me to continue creating these videos. And I hope to see you in the next video. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next episode.